Before I emerged on this planet, I was a force to be reckoned with. While everyone else was easily following the path of being born normally, I had Mama in a frenzy, having to wait in the pangs of labor, unable to fathom whether I would be born at home or at the closest birthing center. Eventually, my arrival was a double whammy, being born breached while in transit. I am sure she had to think long and hard before her next two children came. Handling that previous birthing trauma was no small feat. But with Yahweh's help, one child came after 4 years and the last after another 6. By the time I became a toddler, I was walking about without authorization, crossing over ironing board barriers and baby gates to walk onto Mama's familiar beaten path. One day, upon a return from a lunch trip from Fargo, she found me crying and almost breathless. On another occasion, while she was attending to a tedious sewing job, I walked all the way to Auntie's house. Mama almost had a heart failure when Auntie brought me back. By the time I became a teenager, I was declared as having the second worst case of adenoids in the country. I was still unable to properly pronounce words starting with the letter M, among many others, causing Mama to sacrifice her already busy day to make several trips to Kingston Public Hospital. She scheduled my appointments during the holiday breaks, ensuring my school was never interrupted. On one of those trips, when our appointment was rescheduled, we walked from Slack Road to the Coronation Market just to find a familiar face who would help her with the fare home and buy me something to eat. As we trekked further on towards the bus terminus, I complained of being hungry. She identified a nearby eatery from which she ordered an egg sandwich. She gave it to me, taking for herself just a piece of lettuce leaf and the tomato, which I had refused, and then asked for a glass of water, which she shared between us both. Mama's tenacity, self-control, and lesson of faith were never always voiced. However, they were always demonstrated. Mama knew us all very well and kept us on our toes the best way she knew how. She easily lived out the proverbs, spare the rod and spoil the child. Therefore, whether we ate the fish baits and begged for a replacement stale bread from Masburnie, she was also always a step ahead of us. She ensured that we never got a chance to bring down the family name. Yet, no matter how we were disciplined, just as the sun promised to shine the next day, we were always brought with a new wave of forgiveness and love. It was always teamed with our farewell message: if you can't be good, be careful. Mama's method of leading me personally in the way of righteousness went beyond the routine morning prayer of presenting us individually to Yahweh's governance. I was assigned to the godparenting of Pastor Amos and Minister Sybil Brown. At whatever stage of growth I was, I could identify the fruits of the Spirit exhibiting in their lifestyle. My time with them was like Anna giving Samuel to Eli. It is for these memories and so many others that today's tribute highlights Mama as the queen of my heart. Mama, your love is like food to my soul. You are gone, but you will never be forgotten. Sleep well, Mama.
As I reflect on my mother's life, I am reminded that every life begins with the same gift: a clean slate and the opportunity to leave a mark on the world. Most of us simply try to make the best of the opportunities that we are given, but ever so often there is someone whose influence stretches beyond their own lifetime. Someone whose life continues to shape people long after they are gone. My mother was one of those. To many, she may have appeared to be an ordinary woman, quite unassuming and never seeking attention for herself. But as her son, I had the privilege of watching the extraordinary way she lived her life. She possessed a steady faith and a quiet strength that made people feel valued. Long before I understood the importance of encouragement, I watched her make room for people who felt forgotten, listened to those who felt unheard, and cared for those who felt invisible. What stands out most to me is that she never allowed her own hardship to define her. Life gave her more than her share of challenges. There were seasons of sickness, seasons of scarcity, and seasons when burdens that she carried would have overwhelmed many people. Yet she rarely focused on her own difficulties. Her eyes were fixed on God. Her faith was not reserved for Sunday worship. It shaped the way she raised her children, treated her neighbors, and served the church she loved. If a hungry neighbor happened by, she would often give away her own dinner without hesitation. As a child, I did not fully understand the sacrifice that was represented. Looking back now, I realize that she was teaching us a lesson far greater than words could express. That compassion is not measured by what you have left over, but by what you are willing to give when it costs you everything. I also witnessed her unwavering commitment to the work of God. She was a fierce advocate for the growth of the church and tirelessly supported the effort to establish and sustain new church annexes. She understood that churches were more than buildings. They were places where lives could be transformed. Many people will never know the extent of her labor, prayers, and sacrifices, but the ministry she helped to support stands as a part of her enduring legacy. As I consider her life, I am struck by one overwhelming truth. She held nothing back. She spent herself completely. She invested her energy, her effort, her focus, her resources, her prayers, and her love into the people and causes she believed in. She poured so much of herself into others that when her journey ended, there was very little that was left unused. Some people leave this world with untapped potential and unfinished dreams. My mother left having given everything she had to give. She spent the capital of her life wisely and generously. She left the world stage empty, not because she had nothing to offer, but because she had already offered it all. And though her voice is now silent, the echoes of her life remain. They live on in her family, in the people she encouraged, in the hungry she fed, in the churches she helped build, and in the faith she molded every day. As her son, I could ask for no greater inheritance than the example she left behind. Her life was not merely long, not merely busy. It was not merely successful. It was a life well spent. Rest well, Mama, until